Hello? Hello? Okay. Hello? Okay. Hello? Okay. Beep boop. Beep boop. Beep boop. I think that's good enough. Beep boop. I think that's good enough. Beep boop. I think that's good enough. Now to figure out why this isn't working. Hello? Testing. Okay. Hello. Hello. I don't understand why it's not working. Help me. Oh, my cat. Hello, Ralph. Welcome home, kitty cat. Let's see what the rush drops are. Test, test. Test. Okay. We're getting somewhere. Yay, okay. I want to be this person today. Perfect. Everything's working, yay. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome. These are the rush drops. And then there's a rug. Large backpack. Wait, how many backpack skins are there? That seems like... Ooh, Will's is really cool too. Isn't this already in the game? This fridge is really cool too. Ooh, nice. Alright.
Oh, that's delicious. Thank. Would you like these?
Well, what you could.
I'm gonna see if I can
The grave
earn-
atrocities of our time.
This is so funny.
Insert.
See if I can earn some drops on my end over here without breaking my computer. Alright. Uh-oh. Fuck. I think I broke it already. No! Rust, please! It's gonna be okay. We might be okay. Sorry, I'm back. Alright. My eyeball on. Why is my screen stuck like this? Does it always do that? Doesn't seem right. I think I need to take these off. Hold on. They're in. Alright, let's see what this new town looks like. Look how cute these are! I don't appear to have any binoculars. How the hell did she get horses here and stuff? I must have just asked him to put them in. Oh, look how cute. It's so pretty. Hmm. Yes. Oh, cool. Hi, Gabby. Uh-oh. I think I had my voices off. No, I don't. Pretty. That's cool. Hi, Slim. I think this is where the art class is going to be. I think it is. Oh my goodness. Jack is here. Wow, Jack got some pants that look like his style. Oh, that's so cool. What are you? Homer Simpson? Yeah, it's Homer. That's so cute. I have a feeling I shouldn't have taken this. Oh wait, it's a paintbrush. Is it a paintbrush? I think it's supposed to be a paintbrush. Oh, there's Ralph. Catherine is gonna be back. Okay. And my AirPod does not fit in my left ear at all. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I forgot my mic was muted.
yeah. You come here often?
Very sunny today, you know. Oh yeah, very much. I like to take long walks on the beach, you know.
Oh wow.
Alright,
Me
everybody's
too.
late for my class, man. Hey, who's that?
Hi.
Hi, yeah.
Yo.
Floating and stuff, you know, magically.
Really?
That's just how it looked, yo. Like, just with your like legs are blocked when you're looking right at me.
Ooh. Oh yay, the canvases are loading now.
You gonna take? Who did these times, yo? They're an hour off for me. You gonna do the class though?
Yeah.
It's
Wait, doesn't
in,
it start
3
now
minutes.
or in an hour? How long?
Oh, word. Yeah, no. It
I think
starts
now.
like in 2 minutes.
Yay.
Everyone's late, but there's a couple people on who are like taking part for sure, and then there should be more people. I just don't know where they're all at.
Catherine should
We
be
might
here
have
in a few
late-
minutes.
some
She just
late
went to the
fellas.
store. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, Kale's coming. Got a few people. Should we all rock, paper, scissors to the death or something? Like, what's going on?
I'm down.
See the room so far? This is the room. This is what everyone's gonna be starting with over here. And then, if you want to see some of the finished versions, it's over here. You can see some of the people who did some. We got 4 that I put up. Oh, Sauce, what's up, dude? You teleport here or something? Yeah, you're sneaky.
Yo, what's up? Yeah, sorry. Just I live like right across, so it was just sneak in.
I got you.
This is crazy.
Sauce, we're all in Discord, brother.
I will be joining.
Same way you, cat.
Okay.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello.
What up? What up? Oh, Trex, what up? Guys, we are all in Discord.
Oh,
Everyone
look at this.
want to join us. Oh yeah, Trex, are you just checking it out? Yeah.
Yeah,
Welcome
just
to
checking it
join the
out.
class.
I'm working on something.
I see,
Hello.
Trex. No worries.
Hello.
Hello.
Checking in.
Wait.
We're getting a few more humans here, I
Looks
assume.
interesting,
So
no?
we'll start, and then the early birds will just get the worm,
Yay.
Those other guys, I don't know about them. But, okay. I mean, we got almost everyone that's in the
Hello?
server.
My cat really likes to growl.
Hello? Hello?
Like my cat will join it.
Ah, you're so loud.
It's pretty fun.
This little tidbit of a cat, like she
I
only
don't
weighs like
understand why
8 pounds soaking wet.
Hello? Oh, sorry.
She's like,
I thought my mic wasn't working.
It's funny.
no
Okay, we'll
worries.
get in. Alright, I guess should we just say, like, screw these other goobs? We just go for it, What are our thoughts on that?
I'm so nervous.
Check, we'll just TC right quick. Alright, how many people we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we start with 5, and then if anyone joins late, then they're late and they're playing catch up.
Okie dokie.
Alright, yeah,
Sounds good.
so if you're standing in front of me, you gotta go and choose your portrait, yeah.
Oh,
Everyone
boy.
go. Who ran away? Someone just dipped, yeah. Someone said, I'm not standing in front of you anymore.
Did you just clear your canvas, Catherine?
Oh yeah, you don't want to do that, Cat, then. We're using that if you get what
I
I'm
didn't
saying.
touch it. I just
Wait,
stood
what?
in front of it.
What the heck? I think you have magical powers, maybe, then. Let me see if I
Well,
still have it copy pasted.
I
Boom.
can't see anything either, so
Oh,
Oh
you
yeah,
can?
there
you
we go.
might. You see it?
I can see it now. Yeah,
Can you
Nice,
see
nice.
all
Yeah,
of
some.
the other canvases?
I can see this one.
Oh.
I can't see that one or any of the others.
Try if you want to re-teleport to town, or maybe it'll load eventually, but basically all the canvases have,
yeah.
yeah.
I was here earlier. I peeked my head in and saw what everyone was doing earlier. I
Okay.
think it's fine as long as I can see mine. And
No, yeah, true. You don't gotta worry about too much, and I'll be sharing my screen for everybody. And I'm guessing that this is it for now, so we're just gonna roll with the team. Everyone's here, right? Hall already went. Butter's not there. Yeah, we got everybody. Yeah. All right, let me share my screen real quick. Hey, wait. I have a question for you guys though. If I'm sharing real quickly, but if I am painting like this, I'm sharing my monitor instead of my
Hello.
what's up, man?
I'm here for class. I'm
Oh,
sorry
word.
I'm late.
Are you in the server? It's okay.
I'm in the server. I'm right outside.
Oh, word.
I'm
We'll have
trying
to
to
get
figure
you
out
a
which
class.
building you
So,
guys are
can you
in.
guys see my cursor? The white
Yes.
cursor? Oh, okay. All right. So it is better like this then, and I am gonna do it like this. Okay. So, Lamb, I guess we'll get you in.
Oh, I
Is
hear you
this
talking.
you?
Yeah, it's me.
Oh yeah. All right. So you're gonna come in and join the class, and we're just
Okay.
gonna have you choose down there. Can you
Uh-huh.
see all
Pick a
those?
canvas. I can.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we're just gonna have you choose one of
Oh, we're
those
gonna go from
eyebrowed
that
ladies.
to that. Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Sorry, I got in the reverse order, everyone, but yes, that's the plan.
Yeah. All right.
oh, there's my pen.
Oh.
All right, so we got everybody situated. Before I
Right on
start, I just want to thank you all for being here, and being on time-ish. I do appreciate that. And I appreciate you all in general. So I'm just happy that I can do what I can to give back or whatnot. And I do want to say, you know, all of you, obviously, I know you all individually, and you're all super talented individuals. And so I believe that
No,
everything.
you.
Chill, chill. Not me, not me. But I believe that everything going on here, like, I don't think it's anything crazy. I think, you know, it's kind of all like an optical illusion. Like it's trying to pull off the idea of realism, but I really don't think it's anything crazy. And I do think, you know, for some of you, some stuff might be newer than for other people, depending on, you know, what you kind of paint. But anyways, I am going to begin. And before we start the shading, I just really want to quickly talk about like my first two stages. Um, and this is probably different from a lot of you guys because like so the first stage that I will usually do is I'll just do the skin color. And so that's like no matter what, like I'll start with the skin color and do the entire background. Even if I am doing a picture like this one, for example, really quick, let me put it in. Even if I'm doing a picture like this one, if you guys look at my share screen, like there's so much black, the entire background is black, but I do sketch it on like this skin color and then end up filling in the entire background black. Obviously we don't got a fully black background, but anyhow, we are working with just this background color right here. And then obviously I have the sketch, you know, I'm not exactly a traditional artist. My sketching style is not um not traditional. I wasn't trained or anything in art. But I do in general use like between a size 2 and 4 at like about opacity 0.10. That's just kind of making like smooth enough lines but at a low enough opacity that usually they'll blend in with a lot of the shading that we end up doing, so we don't even have to end up erasing them or anything like that. But yeah, so also I did want to say before we start, I leave my spacing permanently at 0.01. So that just like doesn't change. I know some people like to mess with their spacing, but that's just what I do. So again, that's not 100%. It's not something that you have to do, but especially for, you know, sketching, filling in color and stuff like that, that is my technique, right? So we all have this right here. It's our starting point. We're trying to get to here. And in general, I do use brush 2 for almost everything, like all the shading, all the like smaller drawing lines and everything other than filling in color. But we're actually going to use brush 3 to start out what we're doing. Okay, so we're going to get brush 3 at like a larger size, and I think maybe opacity 50 of black, right? We're doing black on purpose because then if you draw across the black, it's not going to make any mark on the black. It's just going like, you know, only on the light part. What I want you to do is I just want you to color in this entire part at like 0.5. Okay, just one stroke, don't let go. Boom. Okay, you could even do a little darker if you wanted to, something like that. Okay, but I want you to do that. That's step 1. And then step 2 is going to do the same thing to this bottom like wrist that she has right here, but with much lower opacity, so like 0.12 or so maybe. That's probably good. So that's literally is very simple, kind of like a warm up. And I just want to make sure
Wait,
everyone's good with doing that. What's that?
how do you paint that without like covering up the black?
Well, because it's black at low opacity. So like for
Oh,
example,
okay.
if I was to do
Oh, I
the
thought you were
gray
doing the dark
color,
gray. Yeah.
no, yeah. If I was to do light gray at low opacity, it'd be the same thing, but only to the
Yeah.
black. You see what I'm saying? So that's a
Nice.
good thing, and it's the same thing for when we're doing this larger shading. Oh God, that's still gray. Because then it just goes right onto the face, and you're not worried about like the overspray per se. You know what
Very
I mean?
cool.
So yes, that's what we're doing. And then once we're that far, I just want everyone to click like top left save, right? So that I can see your progress. Pretty easy, pretty peasy. And we might want to go a little darker on the top,
Okay.
but the bottom looks good. Bottom looks good. Um, Sauce looking good. This is pretty easy so far. We're about to take it a step up, but should be pretty simple, pretty simple. Um, I'm just gonna give you guys a couple seconds. But the next step that we're gonna do is we're gonna use a large size brush, maybe like size 100 or so, with like a decent opacity, black, size 2 though. I don't know. I mean brush 2. I don't know if I said brush 2 or not.
Mm,
But we're
I
gonna
did
do
not.
brush 2, size 100, and we're gonna start creating a bit of like a gradient in this black area or in this gray area that we created, right? So I'm just creating the dark here, and then I'm gonna kind of lower it down. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy. It doesn't have to be next level Bob Ross or anything like that. But I'm just creating a bit of like atmosphere back here so it's not flat. Okay, that's the goal. And you can fade down to that lower color, or you could end up covering it all up if that's what works best for you and your gradient goes too low. But this is just our little warm up, our first touch of shading at all. I just want this little gradient going right there. I kind of messed up. I gotta undo that. Yeah, it looks better. Right there. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's pretty good for me. Go like one more like that maybe. Boom, good enough, and I'm gonna leave that. Okay, so let me see some gradients that you guys got going on over there. Okay, I'm gonna walk over and look at some gradients and see how we're doing. Oh yeah, Lamb, I like the gradient. Oh, Gabby. Gabby? Gabby, you're Gabby, so Gabby. Anyways, Cat, it's looking good. Catherine. Guys, it's looking great so far. Sauce, it's looking good. You want a little dark sauce, but it doesn't really matter. You still got gradient. This is such a beginner. That's such like an opening step, right? Like that's just to get us started. But the second thing that we're gonna do is we're actually gonna start shading that like second thing down here that we did the third brush on. And I'm gonna do the same thing. Actually, I'm gonna go smaller first. So I'm maybe like 30, size 30, and I'm gonna do this knuckle shading right here. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little right here and then up until right here. And it's okay if we have this white line right here, a bit of white line. It can be slightly darker if you think it's popping out too much. But okay, I went a little overkill there. But yeah, just this little like knuckle right here is gonna be step 1. And then I think I'm gonna take a much larger brush and come back here and just do like very subtle shading at the base of this wrist here. Subtle shading, and then kind of right at the sleeve, I'm gonna do a little bit more. And so this whole time I'm just using large brushes. I'm using brushes that are too large and clicking like on the black so that only the overspray is kind of like
Oh, there's an
affecting,
overspray when you initially click.
just because it's like so big. So it's like that's where the center would be, and so it's only like this part right here that is what's ending, you know what I mean? So if I click up here, you're still getting some on just because it's big enough. So that's kind of like the only part that I'm painting with. You
I
could
see.
obviously do the same thing with like a much smaller brush, but
Right.
I'm just using it because of like the featheriness, right? So I'm gonna just, okay, that's a little too dark, but I'm gonna just darken this up a little bit. And then there's one more little shading that I want to do here, and it's kind of this like black triangle going downwards, like her hand, her wrist. It just kind of goes on a diagonal downwards. So there's this little like triangle of shading right here, and then maybe just like extending this way somewhat to show that that's like the direction that it's moving is to down. And then if you need to go back with that gray color, you can. Who just joined? I don't know. Oh, Hart. What's up, Hart?
Oh, I'm here.
Hart, you're already ahead of everybody, so it's okay.
Hey.
Hart was in our first class, but he'll be rejoining us because he didn't
Well,
attend the entire class.
I want to like gain all the information, you know, because this is like a really important class here, a next level class, I would say. And
When
like,
you watch a movie the second time, and then
Yeah, that's the reason why I'm here too, is to suck up all the info.
yeah,
that's fine. I appreciate it.
For me, I'm like a really slow learner, and like I really want to like grasp all the information, and so I feel like joining 2 classes is definitely like you're gonna get that Slimmy effect. All right, let me stop talking.
Okay, so I'm happy with where mine is. I'm actually gonna do like a little bit of just like a dot of like white, just a little extra highlight right around here to the left of like this darkness that I did. And that's basically good for me. I might have made it a little dark on this part. I might lighten it up a little bit. And feel free, always if you need to grab gray, you need to grab white, you want to use color picker, whatever you got to do. But I kind of thrive off of these like larger brushes and using like I don't really want anyone going like this across anything right now unless that's what we're doing, you know what I mean? I'm just really using these like super feathered brushes, I guess. But so I am just at this point I'm just playing around. Like I can leave mine and I'm gonna come look, see how you guys are doing. Gabby looks good. Lamb looks good. Cat looks good. Yeah, sorry if I misled you all. Like I might have made those knuckles a little dark, and that was my bad. So if you do want to
Soften
lighten
it
it
up.
up, yeah, that was definitely the one thing I'd say. Um, and then other than that, it's looking pretty good. And that would be like our first two mini areas, if we're breaking it up. That's pretty easy peasy stuff. You guys are making quick work of it. I'm just gonna make sure everyone looks pretty good to move on. I'm just gonna give it 1 sec and then I'm going to move on. We're gonna be talking about the entire like neck area next. Okay, that's what we're gonna be focusing on, chat. But yeah, thank you all again for being here. You're the goats.
So now that you're teaching shading classes, are you some shading?
I guess some shade or something like that.
Wait, you cooked that one.
Alright, I'm gonna do it, chat. I'm gonna move forwards, okay? And so I'm gonna do the same thing that I did to start for the last class for this shading. I'm gonna get like a decent size black. Like this is not don't copy this. I'm just doing like to show you my stroke. But so like a decent size 35 of opacity 0.30. And then I'm gonna do this stroke like right here just as a quick guideline. I'm just gonna go down to about right here, okay? And so that's just one stroke, and then I'm gonna keep going over it somewhat to make it okay. I might have curved it a little bit too much there. I'm gonna try to keep it a little straighter. But I'm gonna make it a little bit darker, trying to get like some detail going here. Um, I keep like I feel like I keep curving it too much, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just like trying to keep the shape right that we have going on here. But so that's pretty good. And then I'm actually gonna just like add this little like tip to it. So I'm just going a little smaller, maybe a little lower with my opacity. I'm just gonna make it a little pointed so that it's not quite so tube-like or worm-like. And so this is like the first shape that I'm gonna work with. And then I'm actually gonna just go and use much larger black and fill a lot of this area in. Okay, so I'm filling this area in. I'm using that as a guideline, that first line that I drew. But as I get lower here towards the tip, the shading is going to get slightly lighter, and it's also going to move away from the collar a little bit. So there's going to be a bit of like a white line of highlight right there as it goes downwards. So something like that, I guess. Like it's going to get a little less hard as you move down and a little more feathered right at that kind of like pointed end right here. I'm gonna maybe make it a little more pointed in this direction. But yeah, so that's the that's the first shape that we're gonna do here. And you can actually, if you'd like, you can bring it all the way up towards this chin. And so you guys don't really have to worry about if you get shading on the chin. Like if it suits you better, you can do shading like this and have it going like well over. I'm just kind of bringing it right here to the chin line as close as possible. But Yeah, so this is gonna be like the first shape right there. And then what I'm gonna do second is actually we're gonna move away from the top and we're gonna get size 100 here. We're gonna move towards the bottom. I did want to say that the actual reference picture is not here because it's a new channel, so I have to repost it. 1 second. I'm putting the actual reference in the Slimmy's channel text chat if anyone does want to reference that. Last class everyone was going ahead because they had the reference, you know, and that's fine. Not everybody, but that is just in case you did want to look at that and instead of just looking at, you know, my versions. But so what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be shading the bottom right here and then kind of just bringing it up and then fading it away quickly. So on this left side, it's going to come up a little more and it can be more like up here instead of right across. So we're going to go for something like that. I might even go back with this gray and bring it downward slightly like that. But yeah, something like this right here is what we're looking for, okay? And so and that's not bad at all. Let me see. Is everyone okay? I'm just gonna keep moving slightly, and if we need to stop, we're doing it's all neck right now, so we're not moving anywhere crazy. But I'm gonna create this kind of blob right here above that, like a little bit of a larger, and you can move in downwards towards that. So I have this blob here, but I actually want to, before I continue, I'm gonna take like a smaller size, like maybe 15, and I'm gonna just cut in right here at the face. You can use a smaller size than 15 if you'd like to. But I'm just gonna cut in here so that I can use a much bigger brush and just go downwards here without having to worry about like the edge and whatnot. So I'm creating this kind of shape downwards, and then it's actually gonna go on like a bit of a diagonal to the right, okay? So in this direction right here. And I might be making it slightly too dark, so I could lighten it up a bit. But yeah, that's the shape we're going for. And then just right at the bottom, we want to bring it out as well. Bring it out further in this direction. Okay, so I'll just leave it here for now, and I'll just try to make sure that everyone is caught up. If you did want to do any more, if you are caught up, you can bring this much further. It goes basically to like the center of her lips, but it actually comes slightly away from the chin, so there's a bit of like a white line again of a highlight. So I'm gonna leave it like maybe like right here, and I'm just gonna fill that gap real quick. And so that's just gonna be a quick version. I'm gonna go back and do a little touch up right here. And feel free to switch back and forth, you know, between the black if you need to fix it and the gray if you need to fix it in the opposite direction. But yeah, so that's looking pretty good to me. And I'm gonna walk around and see how everybody's is looking at the moment. Let me come over there. Some neck action. Gabby, nice neck. Lamb, it's looking good as well.
Trying to do the gradient a little better.
No, it's okay, it's okay. And you just gotta definitely, I don't know if you're there yet, but you just gotta get that point a little pointier, you know what I mean? Like the bottom left. Saws looking, or bottom, I don't know,
Bottom
just
right.
the bottom, I don't know what. Catherine, looking good. Maybe just blend that point in. Maybe you haven't pressed save yet and you already did, but look at my workshop. You're back with us. I didn't even notice. Cat, you painting right now? You're looking at the floor, yeah? Cat, I would also say to you that you could make those knuckles just slightly lighter, but
Lighter?
everything else
Okay.
looks good so far.
Yeah, there's something
Yeah,
off
I
about
did
him.
it too dark in my original example, and then that's easy to take and run with, so my bad, my bad. I am noticing just one thing that I do want to feather this down a little bit more right here where I have this, coming down. I just want to make it go down a little further and closer to that shirt. So I'm kind of going like that. And that's what I'm doing. And then, okay, I'll just only do one click. But so what we're gonna do next, if everybody's okay, is I'm gonna come from about right here. And I'm gonna come and bridge over to here. And I can maybe make this a little straighter. I'm gonna bridge and I'm gonna leave a bit of space, like that white space right there. I'm gonna leave it on purpose, okay? So I've created that little gap and we can fill in the top here. And then you can also make this right here a little less tubey and just make it a little bit wider and come across. So something like that is looking pretty good. And then I'm also gonna bring this slightly downwards, just a tad, like so. The one thing I'd also say is that this little thing we've left here, I'm gonna darken it out because it's just too much and I don't want it so prominent, but I do want it like showing at all, so I'm just gonna kind of fade into it more instead of having it be so bright. Also gonna do a little bit of darkening over here just so it's not so bright white on these edges. We're gonna end up doing that a lot, like just going over stuff slightly so it's not um, fully white. Like if you guys like, I just did it with size 100 and I went over all this white with the 0.25 and I think it just might need it slightly, so if you did want to do that. But there is a little more that I want to add to this shape, and the thing is that it comes down right here. So it's going to come down into this shape right here, and then that is going to do the same thing where it kind of feathers up and blends in with this area that we already have here. Okay, so then this that we have kind of laid down is like the general shading of the neck. I want to make this area a little darker on the bottom as well, just so it's not so sticking out so much. And that might have been a little too much. I'm going to take some away of the dark that I added. Let me go like this. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh gosh. I'm gonna erase this. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty happy with, oh gosh. I'm pretty happy with this. And, I'll come check on you guys in a second. I'm also just gonna darken right over here on the left side of this because it's much darker. Just anything to the left of this line should kind of be with the dark gray instead of the normal light gray. So I go like that, and that's how I'm gonna leave it for now. Okay, so let me come and check on what's going on. I do see that. I want to make this look straighter. I took away from the shape. Sorry, I was just comparing my own works, but yeah, I just started making it look a little curved, and I do kind of want to bring back the straightness. So I'm just making a quick change to that kind of shape going on there. But other than that, it's looking pretty good, I'd say. So I'm gonna come look. How are you guys doing? Anybody having any issues? It's looking good so far. Okay, okay. That's good, Lamb. I think
I
you
feel
could
like some
make.
things could be fixed. Maybe I
I
went
was
too dark on the
Yeah, maybe
shadows.
slightly dark. And I was just gonna say that you could make that one pointier, the one at the bottom right, I guess.
The one
It
that kind
just
of like
definitely,
shoots up to the right.
um,
That
I
one that we're
guess
looking at.
so. Yeah, like this. Well, no, this one right here. You see this? Like the blob.
That
That just
blob.
like it could stick downwards a little more into
Oh,
like
okay.
a straight, into a point, basically.
Oh, okay.
But it's looking pretty good. You're right. If you did want to lighten stuff up with some gray at like super low opacity, then you definitely could.
I'll try that.
But it's not anything crazy. Looking good, Saws. Looking good. I like it. Saws, the only thing I'd say is that right to the left of this part, like the black line, you could make that darker. Just like how I kind of did last second. Is just like to the left of that area, you could definitely start blending it
Gotcha.
in to the
Blending it in.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's about the only thing. Same with you, Catherine. I see the same. I don't know if you did or not yet, but yeah, I did that. That was like one of the last things I did, kind of making it more gray instead of light gray. But in general, I'm pretty happy with the neck. There is in the reference a bit of like it goes across here as like a streak of shading across her neck. So if you do want to add that, you can add it, and then I'm gonna use a smaller brush, lower opacity to kind of sell the vibe of the streak of shading. So yeah, something like that. And I think I even made it too high up just because I'm doing it so last second. So I'm just gonna bring it down a little bit with the gray, so there's more space. It's still it's still a little too high up, but I'm just rolling with it here. I've painted this lady a weird amount of times at this point, so it's like I don't even. I'm getting desensitized to all her shading. Anyhow, I think this is looking pretty good the way that I have it. I might shade or what's the word? Fade this in a little more right there where it connects to that black. But yeah, I'd say right here the way that I have it, I might make this one a little pointy as well. This is minor things, you know. If you guys don't want to worry about it, you don't want to worry about it. I'm gonna go like this, and then I'm gonna add this little shading right here because just in the reference, she's got a little shading right there at the bottom that then comes up slightly. So if you guys did want to add that as well, super light, that's gonna about finish us up for the next shading for the moment. We will definitely return to it. But yeah, that's gonna be for now. So let me come look around one more time and then we can move along shortly. Again, don't worry if you get stuff on the face, like black on the face. That's not an issue, everyone. But if you're not yet, then good on you. Looking good, Sauce. Sauce, this is minor, but do you see this part right here where right below her chin where the shading kind of is at like a 90-degree angle right here? That part
Yeah.
could just slightly gradient inwards, like towards the right, if you get what I'm saying. Like just ever so slightly, you could just make it like a little more gray at the beginning instead of being such like a quick or like stark contrast between the black and the white. You just make it a little more faded out. But no, everything's looking really good. It's looking very good. Kat, if you're painting, you haven't pressed update in too long. It's giving me anxiety. It's okay though. Lamb, looking good. I like it. I like it.
Maybe here. A little more neck here might be good under the chin.
Yeah. If any of you who have like a super white like bottom want to take size 100 brush with like black, you know, like if you just want to, let's say like 0.10, just want to take 0.10 and just do, you know, a little bit of that to make it less bright, um, then that is okay. And you don't have to do it to the entire thing if you want to like fade it, you know, make it more of a gradient. I think like that right there with the neck being highlighted, like that's how I'm gonna leave it for the moment. So I'm gonna call that. Boom. And yeah, that's like the only major change I'd see, and that's just because I left mine too bright again. So no worries at all. And everyone's is looking really good. They're all killing it. No, yeah, I like it, Lamb. Think it's good. The only thing is, you see that oh, sorry, did I get your, or whose picture?
No, it's good. You're part of it. You're part of it.
The one thing I'd say is that the gray line shooting up could just fade a little bit at the top, and that's literally the
Okay.
only thing.
So
And then
blend
like
it,
yeah,
like feather it a bit at the top.
just a
towards
tad, and then you're perfect. Yeah. Oh, cat, I see.
large brush.
Okay, you got a little dark. That's one thing I'll say, but the forms look good. The shapes of everything looks good. Workshop as well. You're cooking over here. Catherine.
Yo, I need you to critique it. Is it what?
Catherine, I'd say the same thing to you as I said to Lamb, where just the middle one that juts up right here, you could definitely like make the top darker, the middle gray, if you see what I'm saying. Like if there was like, this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. Yeah, like definitely the top of that, and then you're chilling. One thing I'll say, workshop, it looks pretty good. You could definitely add a little gray to the bottom right here, like how some of them, they have it kind of like jutting out to the right a little bit. That's kind of how I have it as well. Like, see, if you look at, this is kind of like the form. If we're envisioning all his form, it's like this little spoon, or not a spoon, not a fork, whatever this is, little claw, and then like the muscle right here. Like, that's, if we were cloud watching, that's what it looks like. It looks like a jacked crab or something like that made out of the gray. But that's like the form that we're trying to get, and then we just don't want any transition to look too crazy. Like, I could even make mine darker up here, I won't lie. That's probably a little better like that. But yeah, I think soon we're probably good to move on. It's looking very good. Gabby, it's looking good here too. Gabby, I feel like you're using small brushes though. What are your thoughts on that statement, yo? What if you use bigger brushes?
I might be using smaller brushes.
That's it, Gavin. Just kidding. I don't hit my students. I never do that. You know. Anyways, I think we're almost good to move on. Everyone's is looking pretty good. Oh yeah, Saz, it looks really good. The only thing, Saz, I'd say is that if you wanted to black out, or not black out, but just darken this entire bottom because it's too bright with like the really light size 100 with on black. Like, I think the rest of it looks perfect, like the where the shading is and everything. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think that's all you're really missing. Yo, looks good. All right, so team, I'm gonna move on. If you're a little behind, it's okay, but I'm just gonna start a little bit of shading on the head. Okay, so this is where I'm gonna start, and I'm gonna start on the forehead. I'm not sure why, but I'm gonna use size 70 at, I guess. And I'm gonna start right at this eyebrow here and work up from the eyebrow up to this kind of hair spot right here. And I think I might go a little smaller, like 54, so I'm not going over so many edges. I'll switch back if I need to, but I want to cover like right up to like kind of the middle of this brow is like what I'm gonna try to aim for. So like right up to here with this like basically black that we have going on. I'll fill this gap real quick so you don't see the white. But I'm gonna do that, and then we can get like size 100 or size 70 if we'd like at a lower opacity, and then I'm gonna do like more of I gotta go a little higher.
Hi, Kirix. How are you? Sorry, I was muted.
Twice on accident. But something like slightly lighter, and then have these even jut out a little bit, like lighter than we have that black, so you can tell that it's the transition, I guess. So just have it kind of stretch out slightly to here, and then if we need to go back with the gray, then we can just grab the gray and you know, like get some of that, cancel out some of that we have with the black right here. So I guess something kind of like this, but I'm gonna go a little darker on top, like around here. Just a little darker around the edges, and then a little darker in general. And then I'm gonna do, with kind of using the edges, and while I click on the black like I was doing before, I'm gonna do like a line of shading downwards here, like how her hair is like lying, like resting upon her head. So I'm gonna do like, and it can get slightly smaller as it goes up. I'm just gonna do like that, like that's gonna be like the big shading here. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of shading with a small size. I'm gonna do like shading right here on like her eyebrow bone a little bit, and I made it badly, so I'm gonna cancel out some. But I'm just giving her a little bit of that definition so that I don't forget to do that later, since it directly connects to the shading that I'm doing now. So that's pretty good, and I'm gonna have a little shading come over this eyebrow more, just slightly, like over here. But don't go crazy. I'm using 0.09 right now since I barely want it to show up, and then even still, I might go back with the gray and just lighten it so it's even lighter. I don't want it to look like she's got two eyebrows or anything like that. But so this is pretty good. Might do a little light black over here, so that's not like the only shading that's going on that little side of the forehead. But this picture is definitely, you know, shaded on one side and a lot more highlighted on the other side. So I'm just messing with my black to give it a little bit different shape. And then I'm gonna come check on everybody's forehead so far. I think I need a little more darkness, a little more darkness in my forehead, something like that. And this part, something like that. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Might take a point or a size 100 with light opacity and just, or whatever size I need, and just try to cover slightly more without doing too much at all, because I don't want to overdo it, if that makes sense. I don't want to just end up accidentally having stuff all over the forehead when in reality it's like a pretty light picture. Like even here, I'm gonna go back here and delete some of this that we have. Oh god, some of this that we have going on, just because it's like a little bit much. But yeah, that's pretty good for the forehead at the moment. So I am just gonna go check on some people and see how we're looking. All right, I'm stopping touching it. Oh, who put that there? Yeah. I'm just gonna erase it, team. I'm sorry for the delay. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, wait. Alright, my bad, my bad. How's everyone doing over here? Gabby, lovely forehead, yeah, lovely. Lamb, looking good as well. Maybe just blend down a little more to the eyebrow, but then you're killing it. Kata, same exact thing. It's just getting it right into that eyebrow, and again, it's handy that it's black because you can just fade it right in. Catherine, looks good, looks good. Maybe just lighten up the top of the forehead. And yeah, looks good here. Saz looks good. Saz, the only minor note I'd say is that the shading on the left side of her head could just be cleaned up a tad if possible, just to look a little neater. So as I keep having minor notes for you, you're getting the general idea, yo. It's looking really good, but
Oh, I appreciate
I
it.
just try to give notes when I can, you know what I mean? Sorry, Gabby, I didn't mean to. I did. Alright, no, it's pretty good so far. I would definitely say get a big brush, black at low opacity, and just bring that right side of the forehead out with light gray, like just, again, such light black that it shows up as not light gray, but dark gray, and just makes it more of a gradient towards the forehead. And then on the our left, but like her right side of her forehead, definitely just like you might have gone a little overkill with the shading. Just try to keep it almost parallel with like the the hair that currently exists, but it can go like slightly downwards on an angle. That's fine. But yeah, definitely with my style, you know, like I'd say more is less. Like it's better to like have not enough put down instead of like, oh shit, now I like the entire forehead's black, so what do I do? You know, obviously none of you have shaded the entire forehead black, so that's not an issue that we're dealing with. But just in general, it is better to like, you know, take your time. Sometimes if the brush is too soft, it's a problem, so you don't want to like take 13 hours or something like that. But yeah, I think it's good. Catherine, my only note is that to maybe just lighten up the top because it kind of creates like a curve right now. You know what I'm saying? Kind of creates a curve upwards to the left. But some of that should just be a little lighter so that the black cuts off at the top. It's looking good in general. So when you guys are good, we're going to start focusing on that cheek, the right cheek right below that forehead. So I'm just going to give you like a couple seconds and then I'm going to move onwards. Workshop, looking good, yeah, looking good. Oh yeah, so it's looking good, yeah. I see it, I see the Gabby, same thing, killing it, killing it. Lamb, it's looking good. Everyone, you're looking good, okay? So I'm gonna go into the next part of the painting that I'm gonna do. And that's gonna be like this shading right here, okay? All the, oh god, why is it not showing up? I broke it. Okay, here we go. This right here, this entire face shading. And in the reference, kind of like how I have it right here, it's slightly lighter than black. But the way that I am going to approach it is I'm going to use black, okay? So I'm gonna get black, and I think I'm gonna use size 100. It might change. I might go a little smaller. I'm gonna use size 100 at like maybe 35 right now. And I'm gonna start from right. Okay, we're not gonna do size 100 yet. My bad. Because I'm gonna start from right here next to her eye. And I'm gonna bring this as like a line, right down. So hear me out. You know, it's gonna go on a slight curve, so it's not a straight line or anything, but it's gonna go right down to her lips right here. Okay, so that's where we're gonna aim. And I'm using size 68. You probably could have done this at a smaller size. But I'm going to take this and then I'm going to blend that to the face. If you guys did want to leave a little bit, like see how you see here, how I have like a little trim of the face so you can see where it would be. If you have anything like that and you want to leave it, that's fine. But in general, I'm like fading this to black. And then I can actually go much smaller and bring it all the way up the eyebrow right here. Just to black, or you know, as close to black as it gets where it looks good. So that's gonna be I don't really like this too much. I'm just gonna go to black fully, and I'm even gonna go down lower, so I'm gonna go right here. And so this line that I drew, it's good, but I've gone a little too, especially with like this like over spray, I guess is the word I'm gonna use. It's just a little too much and a little too dark, so I'm just gonna tone it
Are you
down.
using the light gray or the dark gray to tone it down?
I'm using like the background color, like
Okay,
the
gotcha.
I
You
color
sampled that.
pick. So I'm gonna go to like right there, and this color is actually going to extend onto the chin, but before I do that, we're gonna get a little drawy, and I'm just gonna go over the chin like this. I'm not drawing the line well, so forgive me. I'm just gonna fix it in post. So I've drawn this like here, and I'm gonna just do it one more time a little bit. And then the plan is for me to increase size and increase opacity. I'm just gonna kind of create a bit of a fade up into like an actual shaded line here, and it doesn't have to be much because we are actually just gonna end up shading above it. But I'm just creating this line right now as like a guideline. So I have that line here. It looks pretty ugly, I'm not gonna lie, but gonna take like a size 30 or so, and I'm just gonna move down in that direction. I'm gonna make it a little taller than it actually would be at size 30. Then I'm gonna go smaller here, and maybe do a little bit of like extending this line so that it's not just a line right here. It's a little more of like a fat line, I guess. It's still a line nonetheless, but I'm just making it a little larger. And what I'm doing right now might actually be a little bit overkill. So I'm probably going to grab the gray again and just go here to make it look neat, make it not look so ugly. And so that's pretty good. Maybe like so. And the plan is to just fade up from this as more of a gradient. So we want to have a gradient going on. Coming from this side to this side, we want it to fade from much more black into the light gray. But we just want to do it gently, and we want it to look beautiful. So that's gonna be our goal here. I'm gonna bring this here, and then I'm actually gonna bring it up slightly more towards this, just because it's kind of the shape that it has. And then as it goes up here, we're gonna do somewhat light to keep that a bit of a gradient going on. It's gonna need some more work for sure. Like I'm gonna go like this slightly, and then I'm gonna work on this smaller area. Well, we're gonna work on, we can tit for tat it all day, but in general, this is pretty good. And then I'm bringing it just essentially up to that the line of the lip right here, or the bottom line of the lip. So that's where I have it right now. I just have everything pretty much blacked out up until that point. And then I'm actually gonna take a little bit of smaller brush, maybe 24. I'm gonna do a little, okay, too big. I'm gonna take it back.
Oh,
like
this
16.
is a shading class.
And I'm gonna go right under here, right under the lips. So I'm going here, and I'm doing a little excessive. So I'm gonna go back and erase with the gray, but do not worry if you get on the lips. That is okay, as long as you can still see those those sketch lines, then you don't have to worry about whether you are onto the lips or not. So I'm just gonna leave it essentially like that. That's pretty good here. And that's just kind of the point that I'd like everyone to get up to, is right here with the shading. Okay, so I'm gonna walk around and see how everyone is looking. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, I am just gonna bring this shading out a little bit more to the side, especially down low. Like, it doesn't have to be super tall, but at the bottom I am just gonna make it extend out a little more than it was previously, to give better shading for that chin. Okay, so something like that. And then if we want to blend it again right up here, we can do a little bit of blending, make everything look nice and uniform, and blend this in up here too. Slow and steady. If you click and it's way too dark, sometimes you might have messed up, but that's why we got undo and erasers and all that stuff. In general, I think that you guys are doing pretty well though. Let me make this a little bit darker, and then I'm gonna come walk around, see what's popping. Alright, that's pretty good. We'll call it. Check out this one. That one's a lot. Hey, what's up, You guys want to join? You're a little behind,
They're not on the call.
Yeah, just a tad.
I think they are.
There? Okay.
Yeah, turnip. You can hear me, right, Machi? Oh wait, you might be deafened. Machi, can you hear me?
No.
Okay, yeah, you can hear me. Machi, I don't know what to. I'd have to give you a quick catch up. All right, everyone, I'm gonna give them a quick catch up.
I'm gonna grab a little snack from the fridge.
All good. Machi, you guys gotta claim an unused canvas, yo. Like, go over here. There's definitely So this one next to, no, not like unused, but like non-shaded. So like this one to the right of cat is unused. And then this one right here is unused. You guys just need a canvas, okay? So grab one that's like no shading, just the sketch and the color block, right? If you're cool with that. I don't know if you're cool with that. Oh, word. I'm gonna give you a speed run, okay? So step one is, are you looking at my share screen? You are. So I'm gonna use size 3, or the third brush, not size 3. I'm gonna use the third brush at opacity around like 0.60, I'd say, at black. And I'm gonna cover this entire top left part. So obviously I already shaded it, and so it looks dark and stuff when I'm doing it. But just cover it with 0.6 or 0.5, something of that nature. I want it covered fully with 0.3, or I mean with brush 3 of black. And then I want you to do the same thing down here on this wrist, but with like opacity at like 0.1. So just like much lower opacity. I just want it slightly more gray, okay? So those are the first two steps, and then step 2 would be to use brush 2 at like on black and a large size to create a gradient for this background right here. So that would be like step number, I guess, the first shading step. And then we work down here on this this hand as well. The actual reference image is in the text channel for this voice channel, if you want to do that and if you want to check it out. But I'm just gonna give you kind of that. It's kind of hard when I'm not doing it live, like I was doing it live, the steps with them and stuff. But I did this shading right here, kind of like the knuckles, this little part that goes down right here to signify that it's like on an angle, and then just kind of like big large shading at the base of the wrist. And then we move to the neck, and the neck's kind of just a whole lot of nonsense. We were just drawing the shading on basically. But yeah, so we did kind of these black shapes, like right here, as you can see, we kind of drew them in. I hope it doesn't mess up anyone's if I seal it in again. It hasn't been messing people's up, but I'm gonna do it real quick. Boom. Oh fuck, that's the wrong one. Sorry, chat. This one. Here we go. I'm doing it. No one stuff got messed up. Okay, good. So, Munchie, the first step that I did for the shading was I brought down a line like right here. And then once I have this line, I took a much larger brush with black. And so obviously I'm using 0.35 opacity, but I'm going over it to make it much more black. And then at the top, between this and the collar, I'm just filling it in fully. Like I'm making it complete.
Oh, no worries. No worries.
I must have been.
Oh, I've just been always making the white background. Oh, I didn't see that. Thank you. Oh, yeah, okay.
For anything, I hope you're paying attention enough of that you could get a little bit of a start. And
Munchie did the expert class instead.
that's what I'm saying, yo. He said I'm gonna be sketching. I just think sketching's gonna, I feel like it would take a long time, you know. Oh, my bad. So, class, I'm gonna continue, and I'm gonna start by bringing the shading up above these lips, okay? And I'm not gonna go super dark. I'm not gonna go as dark as I've been going, and I'm not gonna go as big. I'm just gonna go a little small. I'm gonna kind of work it up a little darker than I've been doing. I'm also leaving a bit of this white line right here. It's okay to have like that because there is somewhat of a highlight in the reference image, like a highlight above the lips. So it's okay to have that. So I have this here. It's looking a little dark, so I'm gonna come back with the gray and just go a little lighter just to try to make it look more natural for now. It is all gonna end up being pretty dark, but I'm gonna just go like that, and then I might go over all of this with like enough of a color that it's just gonna extend some of the, so I'm using 0.13 right now. And it's just gonna be enough to darken without making as black as like that, the actual black that we have over here on the right side. So I'm gonna take that. I'm actually gonna take a smaller size right here and go above this eye. We can even go on to just above this one line right here. I'm actually gonna fade this in from the right side. So maybe to like right here or so. And I'm gonna go right here. So something like that. And then I'm gonna bring it down, bring it below this eyeball slightly, okay? So I'm just building up this shading a little bit, and then let me make this a little more. And then I'm gonna do like a big swoop right over this top line of the eyeball. So let me do like size 15 or so, and like opacity 15, I guess. I'm trying to define this line right here and the shading above it. So I'm just gonna keep doing this for a little while, maybe fill that in since it was so bright. I'm gonna go like that. And then I'm gonna give a little shading over here as well, just to kind of close it off. There is this, oh god, that's too small. There is this white area, but it is gonna end up kind of being slightly darker. So if you guys did want to get like a larger brush and just go like that to make it slightly darker, that is okay. This is looking decent. I might have it blend a little better over on this side. And then I might just bring this over a tad. That's okay for now. That's not bad. And the only other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to keep bringing this over slightly to under the eyeball. And the eyeball sketch is a little rough, so I apologize, everyone. I'm going to bring this over to about there, and that might even be like too far. But I'm going to create like a light diagonal from there down to the right. So I don't want it to be fully black like some of it has been. I want the edge to like 100% be faded. So like right here, this might even be like too dark. Like maybe I should go back with something lighter and just try to achieve just slightly. I'm just gonna do a little gray right here to make it a little brighter. Hopefully something like that. And I'm gonna cut away at this because I don't love how it looks, but so something like that. And then I'm just gonna blend it. Oh god, wrong color. I'm just gonna blend it over here so it doesn't look like such a sharp transition, the angle. And that's pretty good. Just gonna leave that for now. And then I'll give you guys a second and I'll walk around, but in a second, I think the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start to work on like the actual nose, because we wanna attach to the nose and do the actual shading and details of the nose at the same time, basically. So that's gonna be our next thing. I'm just gonna leave a little time, especially because we have some late joiners and whatnot. So everybody just try to get to a similar point to this, or somewhat to this nature with your painting, and then we'll move on shortly after, okay? Anybody, any questions, anything that we gotta, nothing crazy?
I noticed you sometimes do like rapid clicks to do like splotching.
Oh yeah, I
or
haven't talked about
feathering.
that in this
I was
lesson.
wondering, do you ever use like spacing variable for like getting that kind of effect, or it's not worth it and you just do?
I just
do the
this
clicks,
is how I
rapid
got
clicks?
used to, but I was literally calling it like League of Legends clicks in the first class. It's because like
I see
it's
that.
like I'm just spamming, but That's just what feels natural. If that's like the way that I am shading that area, and it's not gonna work with holding it down. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's definitely a technique that I uh, I opt for sure. Now let me see what's going on here.
Yeah,
Gabby,
it's useful.
talented. Man, it's looking great. Am I
Mhm.
going a little? No, that's pretty close to mine, I'd say, but maybe just like slightly gradient right above the lip, and that's like the only part that I'd
Okay.
say.
Like up to the like cheekbone, or
Just like so, like this, like the part where it's like
oh
her
yeah, bring it in
mustache. I feel
cleaner a
like,
bit.
yeah. Maybe slightly same with you, Cat. Just like that mustache area, make it a little more shaded. Um, Workshop, you just need to like blend it all together, and it's looking good. Um, Looking good, Munchie. Munchie, if you want to blend all the way to the black, you can blend all the way to black on the edges. You know what I mean? It's not an issue. Um, like on the
Oh,
sides
okay.
of her face and the neck, like it's okay to go over. That's what I do for most of it. Um, Anyhow, class, I'm just gonna go forward slightly, and I'm gonna get some black, and I'm gonna go up from this point of the lip that we stopped at, and oh god, and I'm gonna go up in a straight line, kind of going right towards the middle of the nostril, and then I'm gonna curve to under the nostril right here. Okay, so I did that a little chalked, so I'm gonna erase some of it with this with that right there. And I also did like I did a pretty big brush, but that's okay, it's gonna work out. What I will say is that then I'm gonna have to start blending this a bit better. And whatever you're doing here, try not to lose the details of the nose. It's okay to do some shading near it. And actually, we are going to shortly shade like right close to the nose. But for now, I'm just making this slightly darker right here. Um, Kind of like that. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with, that might be a little too big. I guess I'll go like size 16. I'm gonna start doing shading just right here. Okay, so just like right on the bottom of that nose. I'm gonna cover these areas. I'm still making sure that I can see those parts of the nostril so that I can use it. But this is looking a little non-blended, so I'm just gonna add some shading in some parts to make it look a little better. But in general, this is what we're going for before we stop, and then we're going to fill in the nostril shortly. Okay, so this stage, some people have trouble with the nostril shape. I think they started losing the nostril shape in the first class, but I don't think I think I sketched it decently where we can try to use that to fill it in, and I guess I'll just stop talking about it and I'll do it really quickly. But I am just using my sketches like a mostly guideline. I'm not going by it 100%. I'm also gonna leave the bottom. I'm not gonna sketch the bottom fully. I'm kind of just gonna do the top right now. So I'm doing the top of this nostril like so, and then I'm gonna make slightly bigger. I'm gonna bring it down a little bit like this. Something like that was too much. Something like this. But then there's gonna be a lot of dark shading coming right down from that nose. So kind of like this, and then even going right onto this area of the nose. Don't go too much. We can go under the nose right here like this. That's too big still. But don't do too much because we want to make sure we still see this side line of the nostril right here, the sketch line on the side. I am gonna go like this and add a little bit of shading on the side because there's just some extra shadow that is created on the side of this nostril. Um, but if we're up to this point, let me just blend it a little more, just a little more smoothness, just to make everything look better. I do zoom in and out a lot, and that's usually just to see like if it looks dumb when I zoom out, like if it looks as dumb as I think it's gonna look or whatnot. Just I guess bigger picture to see it, because you can't really tell up close. A lot of stuff does look dumb that does not actually when you zoom out. So it's really just kind of checking if you're pulling it off or whatnot. So the next thing I'm gonna do is actually use like maybe like size 3.5 or something like that. I'm gonna do like a pretty high opacity, and I'm gonna do black because we're gonna go, that's not black, we're gonna go under this line that we have right here, and we're just gonna fully follow the under point. We can even go like pretty far up this line right here. Okay, so something like this. And so this is good, you know, obviously this is kind of like we're doing like the actual like outline, or if it was like a cartoon or something, but this is a good thing because we have this shading from her nose that kind of juts out right here from this like the full black, and it creates this like shape going that direction, and then this just goes directly up with the rest of the nose. So I'm just gonna have this right here. I might even be making this too black, so I might go back and lighten it a little bit. However, so this is like the starting form of the nose. I'm gonna shade a little bit under here to blend it. But then once we're to that stage, I'm gonna get like a decent sized brush, and I'm gonna start doing like the actual shading of the nose itself. Okay, so I'm gonna start right here from this black, and I'm actually gonna bring it across and then up here to the top of the nose, um, in almost a straight line, leaving this like swoosh, like not like a Nike swoosh, but like a reverse C showing right here. You don't want to have too much, and you don't want it to go up too far, but you do want it to be on the bottom and the top, just a slight bit of highlight. And so I'm gonna have this black, the solid black that we have, just kind of extend into this black that we're using for the nose. And so as you guys probably see, it's starting to look a little bit more like a nose instead of just, you know, random blobs and whatnot. So I have this over here, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring this shape over a little bit, and then I'm gonna focus on the middle of the nose at the moment. So I'm gonna go up in the center to about here. Let me confirm. I'd say that's a decent spot. And I'm gonna go to essentially around here in a straight line. So something like that. That was not the straightest line the world's ever seen, but I just want a straight line like so. Okay, and so that's kind of like this line that we made for the nostril, or on the outside of the nostril. It's just gonna be our guideline. I'm even gonna fix it because it's a little crooked, but that's going to be our guideline. So this shading is going to all stretch out from there, but it's only going to go so far. So it's going to come to just right above kind of this, not the blackest part of that nostril that we have, and then cut across like the corner of her eyeball right there. So that's even like maybe a little too close. I'm gonna
Am I sick?
cut it back slightly. But
I'm muted right now.
so we have this shape that we've established. I'm gonna make the tip of her nose a little larger. I think I kind of destroyed it slightly. But I'm gonna have this shape right here, and then it's gonna connect from like a slightly different angle, which is why I didn't take this fully to the eyebrow. It's gonna connect like inwards to that slightly from the side right here. Then I'm gonna have that come up and join into that shading right here. Okay. So now I have like the general main shape of like this nose shading, but there's definitely like more to it in general. Like here we do want like this soft shading.
Good. I've never
and then
done
right to
anything
this
like this
side
in my
of the
entire
nose, we're gonna
life.
do a little small, I guess side of the nostril I meant, a little bit of smaller shading, and I can just do a little something to signify the edge slightly of the nose. But the main thing I'm gonna say is we're gonna go back with somewhat light black
surprised I
and
didn't
try
think of
to make this look like less of a direct cut, like from black to the light gray. We definitely want to have more
Yeah.
of this like slightly
Doing
lighter
a
dark
tutorial
gray
right
that's
now.
fading it in everywhere. Um, even so, like somewhat down here below this, I'm just gonna darken up to kind of fit the shading in that area.
I'll show
and then
you.
also up to here as well. Gonna just do slightly
So, here's my teacher.
grayer. So that's pretty good right here.
And this is a picture that we're gonna get
a little
to.
bit, just because it's a little extreme. I went a little
And
extreme with the shading.
this is him showing us.
Anyways, this is pretty good. I'm just kind of like working on the face at this point.
And then
And
we're
I
all
might have
here.
gone too dark again, so I'm not afraid to admit
Yeah,
it. I'll just get the
I
gray
guess
out,
this is like the first of a
reconnect
few
this
that
here
they've done.
slightly.
This is
But,
like the second or
in general,
third,
I
but
think that
yeah, so these are a
this is
few
pretty
of the
good.
people's.
Might move some shading out even like further in this direction if it's light enough. Again, you don't want it to look like the black. You want to make sure you're doing light enough that it's not blending in instantly with the black, which like
And
what
here's
I'm doing
everybody else's
is a little bit, I
progress.
won't lie. But and I'm just gonna kind of finish off this area by focusing on this cheek. Maybe just making it slightly less bright while still leaving somewhat the brightness. And there's even some shading that starts coming under this eyeball. So
I see what I need to do with the neck.
Suggest that right here.
Her neck looks
and
like.
Not go crazy yet because
Okay, yeah, her neck's.
we've not done the eyes, so I don't want to do the full eyeball shading. We can do a little bit of like surrounding stuff.
The nose
but
isn't too
yeah,
bad.
this is for the most part how I want to have you guys have yours looking before we move on right now. Also darkening up some stuff over here.
Oh, I was not watching
I
anything
just
he was
noticed
doing.
stuff like the entire time I'm doing it. I won't lie. And
Okay.
try not to mess around with it
Oh,
too
when I
much.
click on the screen, it goes
but
away. Damn it.
That's good. I'm gonna stop messing with it after this.
That sucks.
Boom. Let me see what you guys are doing, okay? I went on a bit of a rampage there. We did a lot of shading. Good shit, Gabby. Sorry, Gabby. KO's not here, so like, you're a substitute, KO. Like, you get hit instead of him. Lammy. It's very good. Boom.
You need to fix her neck somehow.
Oh yeah, you're killing
But I'll worry about
Cat.
it later.
Boom. No, yeah, I think it's good. Guess it's just about the rest of the face now at this point, because you got the nose pretty good. Workshop, all I gotta say to you is that you need to get shading onto that, like the skin of the nostril, and to connect to the black of the nostril. You get what I'm saying? That's all that I
Here we
think
go.
you're needing bad. You're needing bad.
Okay, sorry. He has the ability to talk. Wow. Whew. Yeah, it's live. I've literally never done anything like this. It's crazy. But I missed everything else that he just did. That's okay. Oh, the neck is bugging me. Oh no, don't worry about it. It's okay. He was going really fast just then anyway. Oops. Oops. It's a little tiny bit better. She just got like way too much little neck going on. It was looking like this to me. Here, I'll show you. What's that one SpongeBob meme? Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. SpongeBob character in wheelchair. This thing. Like her neck was just like a thin line. Alright.
However, I feel like you're also guilty of using some small brushes here, maybe. Or maybe not. But I'm seeing just like some streakiness right there in the cheekiness. And if we could get
Yeah, I
that,
don't know where that's coming from. I'm not using it, but it just keeps showing up.
yeah. I don't know. Well, so I guess you might have to go to small brushes to try to cancel some stuff out, but I try. Oh, okay. I could give you one reason why it might happen, and it's like if you use a brush way too low opacity, then it could like create a really crappy effect. But I'm not sure if that's what you were doing. If you're using it
That
at
might
like
be it.
0.02 or something like that, you know what I mean?
That might be it.
Mm.
Especially size 100 brush, like I'll do it right here for you guys. Like, let me do like 0.03 or something. Like, do you guys see that? You see the halo that it begins to create? Like, that's only because it's such a big brush. If I did it on like size 2 or size 20, like it's doing it, but it's just in a different way and it takes way longer because it's so much smaller. But it's that size 100 on low opacity. It'll very quickly do weird stuff like that, unless so. It's really just better at that point. And like, I only know this from personal experience. But it's better to go up to like 0.10 and just click like one time instead of like doing a smaller shading and doing it multiple times. You know what I mean? And I mean the same probably applies with 0.10. Like it's probably better to use 0.15 or whatever, just because then you don't have to click as many times. And the more times you click, like it does add that, like I don't know what to even call that, um, the ring effect or whatnot that it's creating. But yeah, I'm sorry that that happened.
Can
Sorry, I
you,
gotta deal with it.
when you're not looking at someone for a minute, can you look at your canvas so I can look at it as a reference? The other one.
No, all good, all
Like
good,
where
all
we're at,
good.
where we're at. Yeah, thank you. Okay. I'm just gonna take a screenshot so you don't have to stand there.
No worries.
Thank you. Okay.
Guys,
There's
if
a
you're
lot
ever
going on.
ahead, you can grab a gray color and like do it the old-fashioned way and fill in this area right here with like full opacity. I know it's kind of boring, but it's probably a little too dark even. I might get something lighter, but if you are ahead of the curve or whatnot, I'd say this would be the easiest random thing to do. Something like that, and get a big old brush. Now I'm just tit for tat. I'm just trying to make it a little more clean. I'm gonna be going over these edges anyways afterwards, so it's not even gonna matter. But that was just a little something if you are caught up at the moment. Also, I think what I'm gonna do next is work on this right here. This is pretty easy, but I'm gonna start from basically where it looks like the middle of the nose, with a bigger brush than that, like I'd say 15. And I'm gonna come straight down here. Okay, so straight line. And then you can actually do it, you know, you can make a slightly bigger brush or you could just do it next to it. I'm just gonna make it a little fatter. And then I'm just gonna bring it inward slightly. So last time I said like a boot, but definitely try to make the point of it a little, you know, more faded out. And you can even make the bottom kind of curved, whatnot. That was not a good job at doing what I just said, but you can add a little curve right here, something of that nature. And the outside of it is actually, like the left side of it is actually a little bit lighter in the reference. So if you did want to kind of give it that effect, then that could be good. I'm actually gonna go under the nose right here and kind of accentuate that I do have it shaded right here. And then right in the middle of the nose, there's kind of just like this blob of black. I did not do it very well right there. Let me work on it for a second. Because it's not exactly a blob, it's more of a triangle. But the thing is, there's not that much shading on this nose, so it's pretty important just because it's kind of like used as reference and one of the last points of reference before that
God,
last
this is
nostril
so
and then
hard.
the end of the nose. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm just gonna leave it, but I'm just gonna have this shading come a little more. That might have been a bit extreme there. So something like that. That's not bad. And then I'm gonna just go back with a lighter gray to lighten it up a little bit. And then back with a black again over here. And I'm even gonna go over across a little bit, even on the bridge. We're gonna do it too. We're just gonna extend the black lightly. So I'm using 0.06 right now. I'll probably use something darker than that. But I'm extending the bridge slightly. And then I'm gonna get size, let's say 12 at 0.06. I'm gonna go across the nose right here with white. Okay, so kind of keeping similar distance from the bottom of the nose, but then at this area over here, I'm gonna do a little bit more highlight. Not sure if that's too extreme. I might have gone too extreme. Let me go smaller. Yeah, like something of that nature, just to add some highlight to the nose. And then I think let me just click one more time. It's just looking a little,
He's too
little
good.
flat there. But the next thing that I'm actually gonna do is work on this other nostril. So I am going to do this. And the thing about this nostril, I said it for the last class, I don't think I sketched it very well. Like if you look at the reference, it's pretty minimal. Like it hardly even exists. So I'm gonna do it kind of like so, and let it even end up. I think I'm gonna erase some of the bottom right here just because it's sticking out a little bit. But that's basically gonna be like the entire nostril right here. So it's not very much. I'm gonna do shading around it, and it's light shading, but shading nonetheless, just to establish it at all. And I'm gonna go like this a little bit. I think, yeah, I just have that white part a little far, but I'm gonna go right here, and I'm gonna add some shading here, okay? And right here, I'm going like, I'm doing excess, like I'm going past where this
I'll
nose
be right back.
goes.
Keep on going.
All good. I'm going past where this nose goes, but I'm gonna grab the gray again, and I'm just gonna cut it off, just because again, it's very minimal shading. It's not much that's going on, so I just need to establish the idea that that's where the nostril ends. Sorry, I keep choosing too dark black, but so that's pretty good. I'm gonna change the angle and go like more to the right, like that. That's better, and then a little inwards. That's gonna be like pretty good right there. Okay, so that's what we're aiming for. And then at the top of the nose right here, I'm just gonna do a little more shading. So I'm gonna do shading right here, and then I'm actually gonna start the eye just to establish, because right next to the eye, we're gonna have it just come down a little bit to show that that's where the bridge of the nose is kind of happening. Something like that. I'm gonna fade it out again, just always doing really minimal. Like when you're up close, you can barely even see it until you back up. But something like that right there. I might do a little more black, like within here or something. And then I'm also gonna do some white right up here in the center, like this. And this is gonna be like the main gist of the nose. I need to make that some brighter white, I think. But yeah, after this, we could definitely say that might have gone OD here at this point with the white. I don't think it's too bad, but anyhow, we have these two kind of white points. If you like, there's a little bit of highlight right here on the nose as well that you can add. But once you guys are up to this point, and we're pretty good. We're gonna do a little more face shading, and then I think we're gonna move on to the lips. I don't know how far we'll get. We kind of rushed the end to the last one because I had to leave, but I think we might be able to take it all the way home. I think we're past some of the harder parts, but anyways, I think it's looking pretty good as far as the nose goes. I'm just going to extend this shading a tad that I started doing. And I'm also going to create like a little shade pocket over here. So right like where the eye is right here, I can bring it in a tad towards the eye. Let me see. That's looking pretty good. But I'm actually gonna take the black with like full or high opacity. I'm actually gonna curve it in further where we made that shade pocket.
Oh my god. It's like too much. Too much. I don't know how I jacked up the nose so hard. You know how others get into the Rust Kingdom server, or are they just invited? You have to basically be vouched for. It's... I don't know, like, I guess, I don't know how to say this. I feel like some people have more pull than others, but, like, people in this server get to go play on that, like B and a couple other people. Probably, like, a good handful of other people get to. But Only because they've been like grandfathered in from like the original OTV kind of Rust situation. Like I feel like if I asked, like, even though I know B and we all play on this server together, like I don't think I would be allowed. I think you have to have like, yeah, like some pull. And you also probably have to like have numbers and have to have played the game and stuff like that. Because I would love to. I think it would be so cool. But, yeah. Yeah, I feel like it would be really cool to be able to get to do that. Sorry, I had to mute him for a second because the talking is like too fucking much. It's a lot of talking. Especially because I can't talk while he's talking, you know what I mean? It's a lot. And I've never done anything like this, and I'm trying really hard not to just like quit and leave. But I think it's gonna be one of those times where it's like, I'm gonna be glad I finished when I did it. But still, like, I don't know. It's a bit much right now. It's really, really cool, and I'm loving every second of it as far as, like, getting to learn how to do stuff, but it's like,
Yeah.
It's a lot.
For a little more softness on that chinny chin chin. Same with you, Workshop, like just to add a little bit of the smoothness, like just to reference this one again, like I feel like I did a pretty good job at just making the entire thing look round with that smoothness, you know what I mean? Like as soon as you have like a stark, see this one, I have it, but I have done it in a slightly different way, and what's different is that I didn't have it extend out in this direction as far, so I could do that and add that a little more just to add some roundness, kind of like that right there, and that's kind of like more
See it.
as
Her
to
nose
what I'm
is
doing
super
on that
crooked.
side. But yeah, that's definitely gonna help to have this like fade going on right like there. Okay, wrong color. Right like there. You know what I mean? Like that'll definitely add to the form of the chin and whatnot. So, but no, I think it's looking good so far. Catherine's just dancing. She's just ready to move on. Cat, looking good. Cat, this is like a while ago. I think your nose looks really good, but I feel like just this like cheek part, I feel like you just gradiented out to the black, like the on the. Do you see where I'm looking on the share screen? Like right where my like point is. Like
Okay.
this part right here, it could just kind of like gradient out and like go up slightly more, maybe towards the mouth. Like maybe it's just like cut a little low, cut a little stark.
Okay.
Lamb, maybe the slightly the same thing for you as well. Like just on that cheek to try to get a little more of like a feather thing to a gray going. Like if you see what I mean. So it's less of like a quick transition from the black to the white or from the gray to the black. You know what I mean? Just trying to make it like a little more smooth. Just slightly more. And then you can also just like fill in some of the gray area slightly darker. Because, you know, like
Oh
I
yes,
said,
yeah.
most
I
of
got
it
you.
does end up light or not being that light. But
Some of them, yeah. Some areas like feel like a little incomplete and splotchy.
Hollow's cheating, guys. He's got Rostangelo. How do you paint that fast? Just kidding. Using my first class. Looks great though, Hollow. Hollow, what inspired you to do like all the black, like the makeup and whatnot?
That's what I want to
It
do
just
that
came
to
to you?
mine.
AC/DC? Yes.
I guess it just comes from the music I listen to.
Yeah.
I wanted to do something like this too, but I didn't know if it was allowed. Cause this is, I want to do this. I want to color makeup all over her.
So
you want to do what?
The problem is for me it was the nose. I think it's so difficult to make the shading on the nose.
I think some of you are really killing it though. Like Kat, this is your nose, right? This looks great. Catherine, your nose looks great. Oh, and like your nose doesn't even look bad. The one thing I'd say, Hollow, is that you don't have like the white going across that some of the people put, and that could probably add to yours. But that's the only thing I think yours is. I think you really killed it. Like I think your nose looks good. It's got the shading. It's got dimension. Like I think you did well.
Well,
Saws
I just
looking.
spent a couple of minutes fixing it
Wait.
from before, so yeah, I think I nailed it a little bit better.
Oh, you cooked Saws. Oh, you're doing more, Hollow? Nah, Saws, you
Yeah, I'm
cooked though, for
trying
real,
trying
bro.
to
Good
fix
shit.
it.
Saws, I was
hoping
waiting
that
for you to
change would look
press
good.
update, bro. I was waiting. It looks great, yo. Looks great. Good shit. Justice for Saw. Bro, we should get an abuse counter like Gabby, Saws. Like, I'm sorry, guys. I'm
That
sorry.
nose is really good, Saws.
I needed the feedback because it was struggling. It was a struggle.
Oh, it's
Saws,
nice.
The nose
you
is
too could probably
incredible.
do more, just more highlight on the tip. But although, like they're saying, like the shadow, you got it all perfectly placed. I just think like kind of how Key has it, like, or I said Key, Cat. I said Cat because Key Cat. Okay, anyways, kind of how Cat has it. This white like right across, you know what I mean, and then you can do somewhat, and how Catherine has it as well. But yeah, I think that'll definitely just add to it. But it already does look really good. Like you killed it with the shading and the form and everything. Workshop.
Yeah, I'll get that highlight going.
A workshop. You gotta go right in the middle there with gray and like fade that out right there because you went too far with the black. But other than that, the nose looks good. Right on the nose though. Do you see what I'm saying? Like the bridge of the nose. You just went a little too far, I feel like. But other than that, it looks really good. I think
made
you
this
killed the
line on the
nostrils.
nose, and I almost don't think I
you
want to
could make
fix
the one
it.
nostril,
I
the
kind of
left
like
nostril
it.
on our left, a little lighter, but it looks good form-wise and everything. I think it looks really good. Wait, that's Munchie. My bad. Workshop. Yeah, my bad, Munchie. I was looking at yours. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I just feel like the bridge of the nose where you shaded just goes a little bit too far to the left, Munchie, if that makes sense. Just ever so slightly.
I gotcha, yeah.
Like you've just moved it just slightly to the middle, and it's kind of slightly off center to our right.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's looking good. Everyone is looking good. Yeah, I mean, wait, cat. Oh, cat's right here. Cat. I will say the only thing I'm seeing, like, cause your nose looks really good, but I do think that your shading needs to kind of triangulate in the way that I told Saws earlier. The shading, like, on the nose, it just needs to go a little bit more onto her cheek, if you get what I'm saying. That's like the one thing that I'm noticing, but like your actual nose itself looks really good, so I don't think there's much to be done. Gabby looking perfect. The slimmy technique.
I see what
It's so weird
he
to
is saying. Okay.
because some of you really do stuff like this, but I know that you don't approach it like this at all, so it's just very strange to see like everyone doing it in the same order or the same approach that I do. But no, you guys are all killing it, yo. So I think we're almost ready to move on. And
I have a little question.
Oh, what's up?
You know when you're doing corrections, like when you want to make a darker area lighter, or lighter area darker, instead of going black or the original background color, you ever grab like the color in between, like from those gradients, and use that to do the
No, yeah,
patches,
it's definitely like it definitely is dependent on like the situation. Like, so for example, if we're looking like right here, if I wanted to get that and then do like pretty high opacity, because I know that it would just be like pretty perfect even if I keep spamming, you know what I mean, like it's a pretty decent color, then like yes I do. But a lot of the times, like I could accomplish like a similar thing like with the white, you know what I'm saying? Obviously
or
that's
with
a
the
little too
black,
bright. But so that is definitely like it's like
Might have its
if I need to, you know what I mean, like I would definitely grab it with the color picker. But no, yeah, it's not like a thing that I don't do or anything like that, you know what I mean? It's definitely something that I do. I'm gonna do a little more shading under this eyeball right here, and a little more shading in the corner leading up to that eyebrow. I'm just flushing that out. But what we're actually gonna do, coincidentally, is we're gonna take the color picker and we're gonna grab like a decently dark gray, so maybe like this right here, and we are going to use that to sketch in or to draw in only the bottom lip, okay? And so let's see, that's a pretty good color, I like it. But my sketch of the bottom lip is a little chalked. If I'm starting from the right here, I want this curve that I have right here to start a little further. So I want it to go down, and then I want the curve to be more like that, okay? So I just adjusted the curve a little more to the middle. The way that it started, it was just a lot more towards this side right here, like it curved down like right here or something like that. So I've just moved it like much more towards the middle, and now I'm just gonna fill in this entire, just the bottom lip with this color, okay? So that's the plan. As of right now, I'm going and I'm using size 5 at full opacity, by the way. I don't know if that's what you guys are into, but if that's what you're into, then great. Go all the way up. Boom. We're just gonna fill this in real quick, okay? Hopefully that's easy peasy. So that looks so much like it's like needs to be filled in more, but just one of those silly bumps on the canvas. Alright, so I'm gonna go like so. And that's pretty good starting color. And the next step that I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna get like I'm gonna go black. I'm gonna get a small brush, maybe like 13 or 15 opacity or something like that. I'm gonna go over just like this crease right here, like where the mouth would be, okay? So I'm going here, I'm gonna have
A
it
little darker.
Yeah, no, I definitely should go dark. Like I'm gonna do multiple passes. I'm also gonna do multiple passes with multiple sizes. So right now I'm just kind of like laying it down in general, but I'm going to go back now with like something slightly larger and just do another pass kind of geared towards the bottom because we don't have that top lip yet. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to use this brush to build up the parts that the lips, like the crease is kind of, whatever this is called, like the opening in the lips is a little bit thicker, and so I'm just building up some parts slightly and making them slightly darker. But we are going to end up putting in the top lip as well, and so it is going to mess with us a little bit, so I'm not going crazy with the details and everything for this lip. However, I'm going to start doing the shading of the actual big parts now that I've done this. So I'm putting in that tiny little corner, and then it kind of swoops down like so. And then I'm gonna work into this entire corner right here, kind of like a black, almost black gradient type of thing going on. So kind of like right here or so, and then I'm just gonna get everything same-ish color of black hopefully going on.
I have a question.
What's up?
I didn't actually get to participate in the class, but I just want to tell you I'm proud of you, Slim.
Oh, thank you.
I'm so proud of you. All right, okay, bye guys, love y'all.
Oh, not a question. Anyways, it was nice though. I appreciate it. I was just waiting for like the question part of it. So I'm still doing this shading right here, and then I'm gonna bring the lips right here. I'm gonna bring shading down a decent amount. And so I use that smaller size, but then I'm gonna switch to slightly bigger, and I'm gonna have a little bit of shading, just kind of cascading from that that black line, kind of like so. And I think this is like a little bit of a harsh transition right here, so I'm gonna go like a bit lighter in certain areas of it. And I think that is pretty good. And so then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start doing the finer details. So I'm going to start with white, and I'm going to use size 1.34, so tiny white, and 0.06 just to start. We'll see how that goes. I'm just going to start doing some of these details. So there's this one line down here, these are kind of highlights for some creases. They might be too light where we can't see the full creases yet. I'll add a little bit of black right here. But then up here, there's like the first kind of black part, white part. If you guys are looking at the reference, kind of one where like we'd maybe be able to see both parts of it clearly.
This is so
because
hard
it's
to do
big
with one
enough.
monitor.
Yeah, it definitely is. So I'm sorry if you only have one monitor, but I'm gonna continue to the side of this. That's way too small. I'm gonna get a big brush. I'm gonna go something like this, just essentially right next to it. Going straight up. So I'm making it pretty ugly right now, I won't lie, but it's also pretty black. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just bring the black over to here because it does come up and then it's kind of gonna fade out from right here like so. And then bring the black in a little bit there as well, and then I'm just gonna fade it like right in the middle here somewhere. So that was like a little extreme. I might have gone a little too overboard with that detail, but that's okay because I'm just gonna keep moving forwards and I'm gonna keep doing these like somewhat scratchy details on the lips, going back and forth between black and white if I need to, but white I'm gonna do some lower opacity. So here we go, and then I'm gonna work to the other side real quick and just do a few simple lines because they just have pretty simple straight lines coming down like this, like 3 or 4 I'd say. And then what we're gonna do, one second. So then we're gonna have a much bigger line that's not gonna start from the top. Let's start from right here, I'd say. We're gonna have that be like one of the longest. I'd say that's the longest line as of right now, going down the furthest. Have one line next to that. And then right here, we're gonna go to a darker black, so much darker, maybe like 0.08 is probably too light still. I'm just gonna do a few passes, so if you want to use darker, that's okay. And I'm gonna do this. Okay, I'm gonna undo it because that angle is chalk. And I'm gonna do it like this right here. All good, all good. So I'm gonna do this right here, and then I'm gonna do shading over it with the larger size. That might even be too small, but just to really show that center part of the lip is and then while I have this black out, I'm just gonna go over some of these areas that have the shading coming down slightly more. And I'm gonna switch one more time to a small black brush, and then do a couple more lines that we have coming down, like right here. And that's pretty good. So I'm gonna get a slightly bigger brush and white, and then I'm kind of just gonna block out areas that have some highlights going on. So
Question on the bottom side of on the left side of the bottom lip, are we putting the highlight on the left or the right of each crease on the lip?
oh well,
Probably
so the
the right,
hyper.
right?
Wait, on which side of the lips?
The left?
Yeah, so this like I'm kind of doing these after just because it kind of blends in with the everything highlights. Like so this one like right here, it was just kind of like its own separate thing as well as like this one somewhat, but then right here like we
Right.
could get like a small brush and like 0.6 and then
Your side, yeah.
basically just do like strokes like up the entire way because it's so much
A
highlight.
little glow.
Yeah, and then we're gonna go with like a larger size, and then we can go over and try to blend things in, make them look more natural in the areas that they're happening. But yeah, it is pretty, if you look at the reference, it is pretty scratchy with the highlights and the shadows. So we're just doing our best here to try to lock everything in as best as we can, folks. So I believe in y'all. You know, if you have the reference, you can look at it. If you're just looking at me, you can follow along. But I'm not gonna go too crazy with the details on this, especially because the lips are kind of the same as the rest of this, where it's a bit of an illusion. You know, you just want to give off the vibe. It doesn't have to necessarily be perfect. And so I'm gonna go back and make my brush a little bigger, just because I feel like it's kind of like single, I don't know, it's like not singling out the areas instead of bringing them together. So I'm just gonna go somewhat like that, maybe. And then that's looking pretty good to me. There could be more details that we could add. We could go back with the small white and stretch out some of these spots right here and make them a little bit lighter, just so that they stick out more. But again, we don't want to go crazy because we don't want the entire thing to just look like we drew white all over it. So I'll be careful about the balance of needing to add detail and not wanting to just have too much going on, I guess. So I am pretty happy with that. I'm gonna take the black and shade these larger areas again to make it look kind of less flat. Like right now it looks like they're all on the same level, so I'm gonna add like a little bit of dimension to some of this, or not dimension, I don't know what the word would be, but I'm pretty happy with this. I'm gonna shade some of these areas a tad, but then I'm gonna come check out what we got going on over there before we move on to the top lip. I think I've even gone a little too dark with some of my black areas. I'm gonna fade them a tad, and that's pretty good. I'm done for now. I'm not. That doesn't look right here. All right, I'm done for now. Let me look at some people's bottom lips, yeah. It's looking pretty good, Gabby. Gabby, you could definitely bring it out like the bottom right corner. I did want to do something real quick that I hadn't done yet, but right on this tip here on the left, so we can bring it out a little bit, which I haven't really done yet. We can bring it out a little right here. And then once you've done that, you can get like a larger size and just do some slight shading on that, just to signify that it is the end of the lips and it has that shadow. So yeah, you're gonna do that there. And then that's pretty good. So the next thing that we'd be doing is moving to the top lip, but I'm just gonna give you guys a second. It's all looking really good so far. Looking good, Catherine. You could probably lighten up some of the black. I know it's hard, especially with the super tiny brushes because of how pixie they get, but I try to do as feathery as possible with those details, you know what I mean? Because it's just definitely not most natural. This looks good, Lamb.
Thank you.
You could definitely start bringing the shading like to attach to the bottom of the lip just because you have that gap. If you'd like to. Alright, I'm going to fill in the top lip really quickly, and then that's too light. Let me get a slightly darker. Then I'm just gonna run away for 33 seconds and then be back while I leave you guys to work on this top lip. So I'm gonna go like this. And don't worry about, you know, covering up some of the black of the middle line that we drew, because that's pretty inevitable at this point. Just try to do the best you can, if you can, to get like a decent straight line across. But if there's a gap in between or something like that, it's not an issue because we're gonna fix it. But mine has like the tiniest little pixel gap right there kind of going on, but that is not going to be an issue at all. bring this down. I kind of messed that up a little bit. That's pretty good. I'm just gonna do, since it's bothering me, I'm just gonna do like another line over here, but towards the top of it, just to try to cover that gap up a little bit. That's better. And then maybe I'm just gonna start a little of this shading right here on the side. And up this side of the lip a little bit more. So that's good right here. Right here we kind of have shading up on the top, and then right here as well, coming downwards. I'm gonna just bring that in on like a bit of a gradient with a lighter. This one's slightly lighter. I think I went too light. So, like so, and then up on this top lip, I'm gonna do the same kind of thing with that color and just branch out. I think I've went a little extreme. Go back here. And, oh, it's not working. Too.
Okay. Alright. Oh my god. My brain. Okay, I'm gonna go. My brain has a lot going on, so I will see you guys later. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Those of you that came and hung out and did something with me for the first time that I've ever done. So, thank you. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Appreciate you. And we will see you next time. Thank you.